Okay. Hey, Omo, Ocean, and everybody. Hey, I'll make this quick video before my sleeping bill catches me. Um, this story is about is like a warp in my memory. I was like 30, I'd say 32 when this happened to me. I don't know where I was, what I was doing, just regular things, but all of a sudden, just these pieces of memory came back to me. I saw a flash of me buttoning my mother's dress, little bitty buttons, and it was an olive green dress she had on that had a belt. You know how women used to wear the dresses like that. But I remember taking her breast and pushing it back in her bra because it wasn't any more milk in it. And she didn't say anything. She just let me do that. And she kind of helped me with the buttons because they was tiny. I remember that. And then probably that next evening, this happened in the daytime. The same evening, the wind blew. And I could kind of feel it blowing between my legs because I had on a dress. And this quick memory of me being left here. And I was 6 months old, but I could see myself sitting in a clothes basket at night. And this lady was real tall. And we lived in the projects and we had these clotheslines. But her body was thin and I could see the shadow that she cast. And that's what I was looking at. Then the stars was shining real bright that night, and I reached up in the stars up to the sky. I almost jumped out of the basket because I was so excited. I knew they were coming back for me because they left me, and I was just so excited. And what my mother did, this tall lady, what she did was she threw a blanket over me to calm me down because I was trying to get back to these people who brought me. I wasn't supposed to stay here. And I didn't like anybody in the house that I lived with. These were my sisters and my brothers. And this mean man, that was my daddy. And the tall lady who fed me, that's what in my mind, that's who I referred her to. I referred to her as a tall lady. But she threw the towel over my head so I couldn't see. And then she rushed me back in the house. And when she did that, it seemed like something came over me to let me forget these people because they're not coming. They're not coming back for you. And the only person in that whole house that I cling to was my mother, the tall lady. And the rest of the people, they would pull on me because I was a baby, 6 months old. I say I was 6 months old because I was born in March. And March, April, May, June, July, August, September. And I remember that night, it was a cool, pleasant night. And for me to be able to sit in this basket and with the few clothes she took off a line, so I had to be small. And I'm saying 6 months old because for me to be reaching up in the sky and about to tip over a basket, I know I wasn't talking. But these people dropped me off and I was really depressed and I wanted to go home. That's all I know. I wanted to go home. And I knew they weren't coming. So I had to learn how to love these people. And the thing about when I remember the breastfeeding, in fact, I told my sister about these flashes. It wasn't dreams, it was just daydreaming because I was woke. So I think maybe the end of that week, I told my sister about what happened and what I saw. She said, you 30 years old and you haven't been to church in a while. So why are you having these visions like you used to have? I said, I don't know. I said, but it wasn't a bad vision. It wasn't prophetic. It was just me remembering putting up my mama's breast, and I wasn't going to suck it no more. And she said, she kind of argued and doubted. She said, well, for you to remember all that, you had to be at least 2 years old to remember that. And I know you weren't sucking mama's breast at 2. I said, well, I don't know how old I was, but this is what I remember. And so she said, I don't want to argue with you about it. I said, I know, because, you don't have any proof. This is just the way I felt about remembering being dropped off here. And I didn't like my sisters. I sure didn't like my daddy. And then I learned to love my mother. But the end of that month, we went to a family reunion, and my everybody had died. My grandmother, the one that I looked like, she was dead, and she had one sister left, Aunt Veda. She was the midwife in Sulphur Springs, Texas. So if you know anything about magic, you want to know anything about magic, she would be the one. And she was everybody's aunt. So we were walking up, and food was everywhere. And Aunt Veda, which is my grandmother's sister, she saw me. And I guess it's Alzheimer's or something was catching up with her. She say May. She don't say Mary. She say May. That May. And her sister, I'm named after my grandmother, so her name was Mary too. Said May. That May. Come here, May. And she grabbed me and pat me all on my face. And I had to let her know that I wasn't Mary, her sister. I was Mary, her granddaughter. And she asked me who was my mother. And I said, my mother was Mabel. And she smiled, the biggest smile. She said, oh, Lord, I remember you. She said, you were a bitty baby. I say, what? She said, yeah, you were a bitty baby. And Kathy, my sister Kathy, was standing right there with me. And I said, well, what is a bitty baby, Aunt Veda? She said, that's a baby that sucks their mama titty a long time. She said, you were past 2 years old when Mabel finally got you weaned. So I laughed, and my sister shook her head and laughed, and Aunt Veda wanted to know what we were laughing about. But it was kind of private, and Kathy, we kind of got away, and Kathy said, God, that vision of what have you had, this is confirmation that it is true. I said, yeah, it's true. And I could tell you, it was a Sunday night. It was a Sunday night when I decided to stop breastfeeding because my daddy was at home, and he was smoking a cigarette. And he had his legs crossed, and we were watching something on TV. But that's me remembering 2 years old when I stopped breastfeeding. But I'm telling you that this time when I remembered, I was in my 30s, I think 35. But the people from the stars, they dropped me off. I know they did. And my children, when they were babies, if I would take them outside, we could see the stars now, but you can't hardly see them because of all the artificial light in the city. But back then, if I took my children outside at night, you had to hold them tight because they would just be reaching for the stars. It's like, what do these children see? And after I turned 35 and had that vision of me reaching up to the stars, I know what they are reaching for, because that's all I can tell you, Omo Oshun. But that really happened to me, and maybe one day they're coming. I know one day they're coming, and I know I'll be ready to go too. What planet, or I don't know. Heaven, I know it's not hell. I don't even talk about hell. People want you to, but I know we came from a greater place. And it's not that we're being punished by being here, but it's something that I was supposed to learn and something I was supposed to do and teach. That was a purpose for me being here, and it's a purpose for every one of us to be here. And that memory, to unlock that memory, you have to address the Akashic records. And when you address them, you may not get the answer right when you ask it, because the answer is there and you don't see it. You don't even know what it looks like. But on that particular day, my chakras were open. Everything was open to receive all of this information. And it was clear. I didn't have to correct it or ask any questions. It was there in my mind, and I saw it. She had an olive green dress on. And I remember it, boy. I could tell you what bedroom we were in the projects and everything. But anyway, I know you guys are getting ready to go to bed. And so am I, because my sleeping pill get me disabled. And then I want to go in the kitchen and eat and be like Roseanne. I'll start talking crazy because these ambience will make you do that. So I'm going to get out of here. But this is my little story, okay? Good night.